Hello viewers. Today we have a Toastmaster 4437 20-inch 3-speed comfort fan. And it's interesting to me with this because they call it a Toastmaster comfort fan. And I wonder to myself, is this an evolution of the McGraw Edison Comfort fan? As we know, Toastmaster acquired McGraw Edison. Later, Holmes acquired Toastmaster, I believe, and then that was it, dead and buried. So, in my mind, that this is an evolution of the comfort fan, but it has qualities of the old Edison Toastmaster thin and light with the banana style blades that were a carryover. For those who know more about the motors, what years they use which motor, I believe in this Toastmaster fan there was a variant of two motors that were used, and this Toastmaster fan, I believe, around the same years, if you will, had the different cabinet colors. So I think the most common is the tan Toastmaster fan, which I've done a video, check it out on the channel. Did a video a while ago on that one. And then I also recently had done a video on a Toastmaster with the fake wood sides, not that McGraw Edison with the fake wood, but a Toastmaster. So similar style cabinet, and plastic grills with the motor mounted to the supports versus the motor mounted to the grill on the Edison. So it's interesting to follow these. I like this one because I have the box for it. It's starting to kind of come apart a little bit, but made in USA, has a 3-year warranty. I would love to hear from someone. It doesn't even have to be regarding a fan. If they legitimately track this stuff and say, oh, my toaster oven or my microwave that I paid $150, $200 for in year 2.5 has failed, let me contact the manufacturer that had it under warranty. We just throw them out and go buy another one. Or for us people who are into these types of things, we try to repair them and whatnot. But anyway, I think the 3-year warranty thing, while I'm sure it's legit, I bet you it was more of a marketing tag. Oh, great! I should buy a Toastmaster. Toastmasters, from what I actually remember, I was 9 years old, late 80s. This dates me, of course. And I tell this story in one of my Eastern Electric videos. I was in a hardware store as a 9-year-old. I wanted to buy a box fan. As a 9-year-old, I saved my money. Probably had to save up $20, $22. I wanted the Toastmaster, and there was an Eastern Electric there. It would have been like 1988. And while I wanted the Toastmaster, it was a few dollars more, probably like $3 more. That was a lot of money to me, a lot of money to a 9-year-old. So I went with the Eastern Electric. I opened up the Eastern Electric box and was disappointed because it was no longer the like the thick cabinet style from the mid 80s. They transitioned. While today that would be considered a good fan, at that time it was kind of a letdown. You know, there was no badge on the front. It was just very, very basic. Anyway, I kind of digress, but that's kind of what I think about with Toastmaster. I do like the kind of like the logo or whatever you want to call that there. And this looks like it once had the price tag on it, and I can't make out where it came from or the price, because somebody took a pen and crossed it out, which is funny. It's kind of like you do that when you have a gift for somebody. You cross out the price tag. The rear of the box, this is kind of more similar to what I'm used to with a lot of these types. It has its features here, very, very similar to a lot of the other Toastmaster Edison fans. epoxy coated motor and permanently lubricated bearings. I joke about this in other videos. There's no such thing. So let's take it out of the box. This, right before I do, this is basically in the back of my collection. I forgot that I even had it. So it was kind of in the back of the museum shelf, all kind of tucked away. And I don't recall when I have gotten it. I may have never even plugged it in and turned it on before. If I did, it would have been one time. What a pity. I do have one of these already. And this one's probably in better shape. If I can get it out of the box without ruining the box, not stuck on the feet. I have one of these. If you watch my, I did a video called the garage vlog on my channel, just kind of a walkthrough of my garage. And I have one just like this that I put on the shelf in my garage on low. So whenever I flip the power strip on to play the radio, it just turns on. I put that on that shelf in 2011, haven't moved it since. So it's kind of like an experiment. That fan I got for nothing kind of thing. It wasn't in the greatest shape, so I just thought that would make a good garage fan. This one here, typical yellowing, but not too horrible. And the slats are all in perfect shape. The top of this, somebody wrote on it. I don't know if that's the word early, as in someone's last name. Can't really make out what that is. And then somebody put a little, oh yeah, someone put a return address label on it. William F. Early, 54 Covington Drive, Warwick, Rhode Island. So I live up in the Northeast, and so that would make sense. I wonder if this person wants their fan back. We mail it to them with the return address label. This probably was either a marketplace or a Craigslist at the time. I think I've owned this for over 10 years. So who knows? Unfortunately, maybe this individual passed away. Maybe they just got a new fan. They're not into fans, so they probably had this forever and they're like, nah, it's getting dirty. We'll replace it. May not even work. So we'll find out in a second. So I'm gonna plug it in and turn it on. This has the typical Toastmaster knob. It's interesting to see how they interchange these. Sometimes you get more of the McGraw Edison. It's still a dark color like this, but a little bit different. Handle's long gone, but these handles, it's already on, so we know it works. These handles were all the same, through the Edison Toastmaster years, just that like plastic strap handle that rattle like crazy. I try to, when I have fans with the handles intact, I don't pick them up by their handles unless they're a Lakewood, because they get brittle. So when I do lose the handles, unless I actually have the factory handle, I leave it. I'm just not into rigging it. I like it to look factory as possible. So let's start out on low. Pretty typical for one of these fans. I think it's cool that they offered this variant in gray and dark gray. I talk about it probably over the top in all my videos. I'm very partial to the McGraw Edison Comfort fans with the translucent blades. It's what I grew up with. So when I see something like this, it reminds me of that. Medium. Pretty powerful medium. It's shaking. And we'll do high. So for a fan that hasn't been turned on in over 10 years, not bad. A little dusty on top, but the sides are pretty good. And spin down. I'm not quite sure why I acquired this fan, because like I said, I have one in my garage. The only thing I can think of is I got it for free or next to free, and it was easily accessible. I have found when I've collected these, unless there's something I'm truly after, then kind of I spare no expense to get it. But if it's something like, it'd be cool to have one of those, or I have one already kind of thing, I don't go driving hundreds of miles or whatever, or pay for a ton of shipping to get it. But if there's something like this, typically that there's like virtually no cost for it, $5, $10 free, and it's pretty much in my backyard, I tend to snag it, even though it's not something I'm chasing after, because I might already have one. So I have this one. I talk about this, I think, in a recent video, that if I had to part with a fan, I think it was another Toastmaster that I had with the wood side, I would probably consider parting with this one as well, just because my collection is too big, and I'm trying to be a little bit more reasonable. So there's a few observations with this, right? As we know with these fans, the cable or the electrical comes right out of the motor. That was a very McGraw Edison thing that carried on with these fans. I believe these have oil ports. Yes, they do. So these motors, if somebody in the comments could drop a comment, or maybe it's a question for someone to answer. Is this the same motor in the Lakewoods? Because the giveaway is the kind of the look of it and the oil port. Typically, Toastmasters, Edisons don't have oil ports, and the motors, I know this is not the same motor at this point that was in the McGraw Edison Comfort fans. So I'd like to hear from somebody there. I do wish, and I've talked about this before, at least in the Toastmasters that don't have the motor mounted into the grill, the metal grill, on the ones with the plastic grills, I do wish they ran the cord down the motor support. Now, another observation is this cord. I don't think this is the original cord. I don't recall these having a black cord. I thought they were brown, maybe white or off-white. And it also seems like stiff, as in like it's brand new. Like it's not, it feels very new to me and non-broken in. And there's the grommet there that it goes through is in really good shape. So maybe somebody did go through the trouble of replacing the cord on this at one point. Maybe it was our buddy here in Rhode Island who did it. Maybe did it himself. Maybe took it to a repair shop, an appliance repair shop, and it was done, which is kind of funny. And I have done that, and I talk about it in my P23 video. So let's fire it up this way. I'm just going to put it on one speed because we're really looking at the same thing. And as it's spinning down, really has these kind of factory feet in the grill, which work pretty well. I actually prefer that versus the feet that you put in underneath, you know. And I love my vintage fans and whatnot, but just to have it kind of put together with the grill it just makes it life a little easier because you don't have to think about losing them or whatnot. And then what I wonder is, maybe this is, see, I'm a little confused because if this slat is not broken. Typically to get the grill off, to get through a polarized plug, you have to snap the grill, right? Which is like the worst thing ever, especially when you have a survivor like this. So it makes me wonder, and this grill is actually very clean. This fan is very clean. It makes me wonder if something happened to the cord Maybe then the fan was cleaned when it was disassembled. The cord was replaced, it was reassembled, and that's that. Let me know in the comments though, regarding this cord. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe it's just been preserved, but it just seems off that this cord is black versus brown or like the off-white color. So this is my video. This is my Toastmaster. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it. If there's anyone local here who is a fellow collector, might be interested in it, I would certainly be open to parting ways with it to make some space in my museum. I'm not in this to make money, so it's more or less to preserve these things and find them a good home. If there's no takers, I just keep it. So thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe, comment on the discussion, and keep on watching. Plenty of box fans on the channel, and see you on the next one.